Alright, so update for my YouTube channel. I'll be basically uploading this through the mobile app. So when you see the title, it'll just be the title of the day of the upload. Because practically right when I hit upload, I'll be going to sleep. So when I wake up, I'll be editing the video with description, title, and whatnot. So there's that. So as you can tell here, I got my 20-gallon tank, and it's definitely changed up a little bit now. I have a little thermometer right here. That way, so when I wake up from bed or whatnot, I can just easily go right here and see the temp. I have a little hide, even though the hide's a little big. I'm planning to go get a smaller hide later today. It's currently 4:35 of me recording this AM in the morning. So I won't be getting that much sleep because my sleeping schedule is all fudged. But with that said, I still want to record this video before I go off to bed. And of course I have a heater. But also I have one betta. This is a white betta, well, near white betta. As you can tell, there are little bits of red on his fins. That's because he's been nipping himself. I put him into this tank because the tank he was in, he was constantly nipping himself because he was in close proximity with another betta. So doing this relieves a lot of stress. He seems to be a lot more happier now. Granted, his fins are a little clamped, but they're still decent. He does fold his fins out every so often, but right now he's not going to do it. And as you can tell, the water's still fairly cloudy. That's because this tank is still setting itself up and whatnot, but the betta seems to be doing just fine. If I notice anything weird out of him, I will be removing him and putting him back into the original tank I had him in. But with that said, I want to get on to this. This right here is a homemade tank lid for my 20-gallon lawn tank. I did a little research on how much a lid for this type of tank will cost. It will cost around $30 to $50. And I'm like, heck no. I'm building my own tank lid for 15 bucks, like 10-15 bucks in materials. So what I did is I went to Walmart. I picked up 5 sheets of Emerson foam board, and I only needed 1. So I have 4 extra sheets laying around. I'll probably build myself a flight test aircraft like the one up here, and whatnot. This was made on 1 sheet of foam board. So as you can tell, there are also zip ties right here. That's because there's a wooden dowel going throughout the length of the sheet here, so it'll stop the actual piece of foam from bowing. I'll lift up the tank lid so you can actually see how it's all set up. As you can tell, there's a wooden dowel that spans the length, and all these are just all these are our cool white Christmas LED lights. These things are designed for outdoor use. So I'm well within the realm of what these things can do and whatnot. I do plan on snipping off the female end right there, and then somehow capping and waterproofing the ends of the cables so they don't short circuit and whatnot. But that's that. But these are rated for outdoor use, so I should be able to leave the female plug in there without any problems. And also, I made little cutouts for all the wires and whatnot, so I can easily feed all the wires through and whatnot. Nice thing about me building this custom tank lid is that I can make everything custom fit. I don't have to use a pre-made tank lid, and then if I was using a pre-made tank lid, I have to rearrange a heap tons of stuff. With me building a custom tank lid, I can do everything custom to my setup. But yeah, there's that. Now I do want to show one thing. Now, due to the fact I'm using LEDs from Walmart, the tank doesn't get that bright. But personally, I like this kind of brightness. I mean, for certain tanks like this tank right here, which houses my betta with permanent swim bladder disease, this light's perfect for him. Granted, right now he's hiding behind the filtration system, but that's him. And now I want to talk about my other tanks. So here's my 10-gallon. I think I uploaded a video earlier about Mesa here having swim bladder disease and whatnot. As you can tell, I did manage to cure him. All I had to do was fast him and give him 2 Epsom salt dips. And as you can tell, the little net is in the little basket I made is in there again. That is because I have no other way to house my zebra tetra. My zebra tetra was getting along just fine, but then I just started seeing him nip at Mesa. So I moved the zebra tetra into the little basket until I can find a permanent home for him. But for right now, that's how this situation is holding out. I'm not going to do anything about his fins and whatnot. I'm just going to leave them alone and let nature take its course. Because that's what I've learned when it comes to these bettas, is you just leave the tank alone and ignore what people say, because if I follow what people say and do it to a T, I still kill my bettas. So I'm going to ignore everything that people say in the comments below. Alright, here's another one of my bettas. This is Walmart betta number 2. Sorry about the autofocus not doing correctly. As you can tell, he's actually swimming around quite well. He's going against the current. Earlier, he was just resting right here, being very, very lazy, but it's nice to see him actually up and about now for once. Right here, I got Pumpkin. Right now, he's in his little hole. The reason why his colors have gone down a little bit, but they're not like in the I don't have to worry realm. He's breathing a little hard, but I think that's fine. The only reason why he's doing this is because I have this little container in here of another betta. Once I remove this pleco right here, which you can see him right there. Once I remove him and pop him into the 20-gallon, Pumpkin will start swimming around like he used to. My double tail betta, which is right here in his little betta tube, he's just hanging out right now, resting. He's been working on a bubble nest that I destroyed 2 times already. Granted, this bubble nest is not as big as the one he originally had, but he is still maintaining the bubble nest. This tank right here is a whole different story. These two, even though they both flare at each other every now and then, they're both in great health. They're doing fantastically well. The only modification I've done to this tank since setting it up was rebuilding the filtration system right here and adding activated carbon to it. I have not done a water change. I have not done a gravel change or cleaning or anything like that. If I do anything like that, I'm afraid I'm going to kill the fish. But with that said, I do plan on eventually doing water changes and whatnots to these tanks. But I have to let these tanks sit for a long time before I do so. And right here is another pleco. He's a double tail half moon. There he is right there. As you can tell, he's still very healthy and very active. All the fish outside of my living room are still in great health. They're still swimming all the time. And they always freak out when I come close. Just like he is right now. When you saw him do that little weird thing. That's the one thing I like about bettas. They're the only ones that do that. Give me a second. Let me remove this towel. I was hiding some light from bettas. Give me a second. Yeah, my bathroom's a mess. But due to that fact, with me not touching this tank other than modifying the sponge filter a little bit, these bettas are in great health. I've had these guys for well over 3 weeks now. This elephant ear has surpassed the original 2 elephant ears I've owned. And my third Walmart betta, which is this crown tail right here, he is in such great health. He's constantly swimming around. His fins are growing back slowly, but they are growing back. And it only emboldens my fact that makes me say, as long as I leave the tanks alone, I don't molest the tanks. I don't do anything with water changes or anything like that unless it's absolutely necessary. These bettas will thrive. All the bettas in my living room and all the bettas in here. Oops, sorry, my elephant ear. The bettas in here. My swim bladder betta, which is right here somewhere. Give me a second. Let me see if I can get him to show himself. Come on, buddy. Show yourself. Other than his fins being torn up due to him constantly going behind that thing. There he is. Here he is. Hello. Other than his fins being torn up due to the fact he's constantly going between this and the filter system right there. There's something on the filter that's causing his fins to get all torn up like that. Other than that, he is in still great health. Even though he constantly does that, but he's in great health. He constantly acts like this all the time when I come close to him, even when I'm not nudging this. And that's because I haven't molested this tank. The only thing I've done to clean the water was take a barbecue skewer and stir up the gravel and run my filtration system at max for 24 hours. And it cleaned up the water just fine. Granted, it's still a little hazy, but he's still in great health. He still eats all the time. I know what I'm saying totally goes against what people say about caring for bettas and whatnot, but my proof is in these videos. Even though these guys aren't doing so well, as long as I leave this tank alone in about like 3 weeks or so, these guys will be all swimming around active like they used to be. They're only acting like this because I added these 2 little containers here. So these 2 little containers here are kind of messing up the ecosystem. But once I remove these 2 containers, they'll all be swimming around nice and healthy and everything else. Granted, they're still healthy right now. All messes and, well, he's still healthy, but he's still in the, he still needs to heal up, but he's doing a lot better. And of course, this betta right here, I haven't touched his water since I put it in. Other than a little bit of film right there, which I really can't figure out how to remove. He's still in great health too. He's, like I say, he's still been maintaining his beautiful bubble nest. So yeah, like I said, even though people are going to say you need to do this, and this every single day, I'm going to ignore what they say. Because what I've been showing is proof about how I do my fish. Well, at least he's doing what I was wanting him to do when I bought that little thing. He just has to figure out a way to where he won't have to constantly get nudged by the filtration system. Also, I am running a heater in this tank at fairly high settings. Currently, it's 79 in here. 79.1, 79.1. I could probably actually dial the temperature back down to like 87 on the notch right there, and that'll probably bring the temperature down to 98 or so. But it seems like if I keep the temperature up, they seem to be a little bit more active. But I could be wrong about the temperature. Well, I definitely went into a tangent again when it comes to my fish and how I take care of them. Sorry about that. I just want to try and keep proving myself that even though it looks like I'm killing fish and whatnot, even though I do what people say, it turns out me just leaving the tanks alone is best. And ignoring what people say unless it's absolutely necessary. And I've been having better luck with just ignoring what people say and just leaving and just either letting nature take its course or giving my fish giving my bettas Epsom salt baths. But yeah, this has gone nearly 15 minutes long, and if anyone made it to the end, I will be amazed. Speaking of which, I want to do one little checkup on this guy before I end the video. Yep, he's just resting at the bottom. I do plan on giving him some hides later today, hopefully, but yeah. But yeah, like I said, my way seems to be better when it comes to housing and taking care of my betas. Oh yeah. Oh, I thought his face was showing. Maybe, I don't know, he's a weird beta.